key recipients, existing members of the Golden Key International Ordinary Society, parents and students. I'd also like to acknowledge our distinguished guests and everybody who created time to join us tonight. I stand there this evening humbled by the task ahead of us. I'm grateful for the trust you've bestowed upon me, and I'm mindful of the high impact of my work in society. I'm tasked to talk to the society's new members, to motivate them, to encourage them, and to share some of my views as to how we can go about bringing change in our society. When I was young, I used to admire Princess Diana for bringing attention to various charitable causes. Her humble and angelic demeanor portrayed a fairy tale narrative in my mind as she touched many lives, visiting hospices, charities, evening galas, touching the poor. I was convinced that all I needed to do was pray for people like her and Mother Teresa, and then all the world wishes will just disappear. The problem is, we think that other people are always there to help us rescue whatever it is that is happening around us. So as I grew older, I committed to supporting organizations such as World Vision and other NGOs at the forefront of fighting poverty and other humanitarian challenges. That happened while I was continuing with my life, pursuing other interests, with the clear conscience that at least I'm doing something. As the years went by, I became emotionally acquainted to the former UN Secretary Kofi Annan, commonly referred to as a man of peace in a world of war. He ignited my interest in challenging economic issues and all other matters. All of a sudden, I felt the need to do something. It was like I'm not doing enough in this world. And while I was still working, I would encourage my former colleagues to be more creative. For years, my mind was consumed with thoughts about the day I would quit where I was working in order for me to make a difference. Spending more than 10 years working in a job that I knew was not fulfilling my purpose got me to my lowest point in my life, and I knew I had something, and I knew I had to do something about it. I was so frustrated at the feeling of being trapped in an environment that stifled my creative genius, and my worst fear was to find myself old, gray, miserable, and bitter about life. So I turned my what ifs and I looked more as to what it is that I can do with my life. I eventually summoned my fear and enrolled as an undergraduate. After many years of graduating, I enrolled again as an undergraduate with Monash University studying international studies. It was not an easy decision. It was not an easy ride, personally, financially, emotionally, but that's a story for another time. What I would like to focus on tonight is how spending time with young minds propelled me to open a company called The Reformist. I call it a social venture because its core is looking at issues that affect most of us. The daunting social challenges such as poverty, illiteracy, corruption, unemployment, poor infrastructure development, child labor, human trafficking, health, crime, a lot of other issues fed my vision. Year in and year out, global conferences, summits are being held, but every year we are still continuing to see the very same problems. So what needs to be done? I spent a lot of time interacting with the young minds for the past years while I was doing my international studies, and that's when I realized that young minds really need to be nurtured. They have ideas, they are mavericks, they are go-getters and they want to do something. But we stifle them the minute they come into formal employment, with our fears, with our limitations. And I decided to say, I'm going to start a company. Our values are inspired by the universal values of the Declaration of Human Rights, and we aim to contribute to the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals. We bring together young people who are serious about taking action towards active citizenry and positive social change. We shy away from people who are entitlement mentality, who think that everything should be done their way, or who sit and wait for the government to do something. We encourage people to do more with their potential, with their talents, with their intellect, with their qualifications, and we say, let's come together and help build our country and eventually the whole continent. The devastating events of violent conflict geared at social transformation inspired our concept to encourage young people to move smartly towards sustainable development. And our implementation tools are motivational talks, youth empowerment workshops, active citizenship seminars, books, and many other empowerment tools. Our venture is not about restating what is wrong with the world. There are many books and literature and a whole lot of documentaries on that already. It's about what we can do about the challenges we face in the world and how we can make governments and corporations increasingly collaborate with young minds and appreciate their fresh perspectives for a sustainable future. Allow me to emphasize that the UP chapter has laid a foundation for you. You need the knowledge and problem-solving skills you acquired in science and math to cure diseases. Right now, we all hear about Ebola. Where are the math and science minds? What are you doing with that? And to develop new energy technologies and protect our environment as well. You need the insights and critical thinking skills you gain in history and social sciences to fight poverty, unemployment, crime, and other social ills. You need the creativity and ingenuity you develop in business sciences to build new companies and will create new jobs and boost our economies. You need languages to write articles, interactive articles that will encourage us to read our newspapers more. We only read gossip and nothing informative lately. Very few newspapers can give us that. So we need writers that can change the face of our society. So you are offered a golden opportunity, and I dare you to further develop your talents, skills, and intellect so you can help solve our most difficult problems. But the truth is, trying to change your world of influence is very hard. I've had to evaluate my life many times in order to make the changes I needed. I took the plunge to do something different, and I even became more fearful after realizing how difficult it is to try to make it on my own. The freedom I anticipated from a boastful career didn't propel doors to open immediately, and that filled me with doubt and fears. I set out for change, and I had this idea in my head of what that change would look like. What I wasn't aware was that the ultimate change I thought I was going to experience turned into something wonderful. And along the journey, I met wonderful and inspirational people and circumstances that enlightened me to become conscious that change is the bigger picture to the one I painted. What I've learned in the past 3 years is that my story of living a creative life in tune with my passions is a journey evolving with new experiences that pushes me to grow. What I envisioned as a goal that would make me happy transformed into something I never expected. Hence, I wrote the book, Just Do It, Don't Stop. I was actually encouraging myself, and my husband persuaded me to publish. It's a simple to read, It's a simple to read and sends a strong message to not let your failures define you. You have to let them teach you. Remember, not one of us here is born being good at things. You become good at things through hard work. It serves to remind you to never give up on yourself. Because when you give up on yourself, it simply means you quit when things get tough. To create change, you have to keep on trying. So today, as golden key holders, I would like you to ponder the following questions. What's your contribution going to be? What problems are you going to solve? What discoveries will you make? You are holding a key that is going to open doors of opportunities, but you've got to do your part too. So I'm confident that you'll put your best effort in everything you do. I expect great things from each of you. I know that you can do it. Thank you very much, and God bless you.